What's happening, folks out there? Broadcasting live to you and yours. It is your boy, Justin Reed, aka Too Tall for You Fool. Welcome to the Game and Watch Podcast, episode number 78. I am joined by my main man, the F Man, OVG Review Gaming himself, Finest Dabs.
What's up, people? How we doing today?
Right on, right on. Just a reminder before we get into everything, the Game and Watch podcast is our review gaming or OVG production. Catch us live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook Live. And we are on all platforms wherever you choose to listen to your podcast. So if you listen to us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, we're there. And please donate to us on Patreon. Anything donated to the show will make this a better show for all us, the host, and you, the listener. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to email the Game and Watch Podcast at gameandwatchpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us individually, you will be able to see our links to all our social media platforms in the show notes. Now, with all that out of the way, how you doing, F man? I missed you guys last week. You
Oh
had a
man,
big week.
I did. Am I allowed to jump into that, or are we still? Well, I'll,
um,
I'll answer your question first. Let's how about that? I'm doing pretty freaking well. It's been a really good week. Just been podcast hustling.
oh yeah.
Just really been promoting and just on the grind. Yeah, it's been a kind of a slow news week in terms of games, but it's allowed me like for more time to play games. But anyway, how are you doing?
I'm good. I've had a pretty big week myself. Well, last week was a big weekend for me. One of the reasons why I wasn't on the show last week, I really enjoyed myself. Am I allowed to talk about that now, or you want to get into that later?
Yeah, no. Let's talk about what we've been up to.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, for sure.
Uh, Take it away, buddy.
All right. So last week I was not on the show. I missed you
Hmm.
guys. I know you guys missed me too. Hopefully
Hmm.
y'all were good.
Yeah, yeah. We mentioned you during the show a couple times. So
All right, sounds good. Sounds good.
yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, first, I am going to be on an upcoming episode of the Loading Bar podcast. Um, so I'm very excited about that. We recorded a episode last Friday, I believe. So yeah. So we, still need to listen to that to get my thumb of approval, but for the most part, that's going to be coming out very soon. And then I was also at the Southern California Gaming Expo, which is formerly the Southern California Retro Gaming Expo or the SoCal Gaming Expo, whatever y'all want to call it. I was there.
Nice, nice.
Yes, I was podcast hustling. I need to update my business cards, but pretty much people. Well, I have a ton of them, but yeah, I do need to update them. But but yeah, I was hustling the people for the most part. We should be getting some more listeners and viewers alike.
Mhm.
Shout out to the people who I met up with. My boy Nick Garner, met up with him. Good dude. Uh, Shingon Retro Boy 79, met up with him.
Oh, he was
Uh,
there too.
yep,
Nice.
yeah, he showed up. Bravo, Bravo Matic. He showed up. The Doing It Live
Okay.
crew. He and Bravo Junior. They both were there.
Hmm.
And just a lot of the personalities who I met. A super retro gal who puts this event on every year. Well, she hasn't been able to do it the last 2 years for obvious reasons, but shout out to her. And then I also got to watch a documentary called Rarity: Retro Video
Okay.
Game Collecting in the Modern Era. It's I believe it's on Amazon Prime, so I'll definitely link that to you guys in the show notes and link it in our personal Discord. So I had a lot of fun. Got some pickups that I shared with you guys. I'm a little pissed off about one of my pickups. So my Tetris stream is a little crooked, but
Uh-oh.
so yeah. So I gotta talk to the company see if they can replace that. But I
Tell me,
mean,
tell me about the conference. You met all these people.
mm,
That's great. You passed out some business cards. Tell us about the games. Tell us about what you saw, what you did, who you. I mean, you already told us about who you met, but tell us what what were those pickups?
uh,
What'd you
so
do?
Bravo sold his PS Vita, so I got a
Mm-hmm.
PS Vita. So I got that. Got a game. I got some retro games that I'll show to you a little bit later on in the show. And actually, I did get a wireless 6 button Genesis controller. I did get that, so I picked that up. And then also just I played some games. I tried to do one of the, you know how back in the mid 90s, how some of those Super Nintendo games would have like those competition cards. I believe they had one with Star Fox and Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, yeah.
I tried playing the Donkey Kong Country one. Unfortunately, I didn't get a top 3 score, but I mean, it was an amazing event for the most part. I had lots of
Mm-hmm.
fun just walking around, going around the booths. One thing about these events, people, Sunday is the day to buy games because a lot of these vendors are trying to push out their inventory.
Yeah.
You can make some good deals.
Nice.
Speaking of which, another shout out to my boy over at Retro Gorilla, Kyle. If you're listening or
Retro
watching,
Gorilla.
Retro Gorilla, he
Okay.
is in Paris. I am a customer of his, and I've told him about the podcast. Hopefully, maybe one of these days I can definitely try to get him on. He's a busy man, but
Mm-hmm.
he's definitely into our stuff. Definitely, he sees what we
Okay.
got going on. So I had a great week. Well, last weekend I had a great last weekend. So it was nice. It was a little tiring, but I had fun, and I can't wait to do it again in
Mm-hmm.
Arizona. Game on in August.
There we go. There we go. We'll both be at Game On in August. So if you want to roll down, definitely let us know. We'll meet up. We'll play some games. I can't wait. I can't wait to see you, and I can't wait to hang out.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure. It's gonna be fun.
yeah, I'll bring my wad of cash.
Yeah, definitely bring some cash. I think I overspent. I'm not gonna lie, but
There's no such thing. No such thing.
yeah, no such thing. Yeah, I can't wait to do it. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, game on, and it's yeah. I mean, I like the SoCal Gaming Expo a lot, but a few years ago when I went to Game On, much bigger than maybe not much bigger, but it's definitely bigger on a bigger scale than the SoCal Gaming Expo. So that's gonna be
Okay.
fun. It's gonna be 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, cosplay, anime, you name it, they got it. It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me what's been going on with your podcast, Hustling. I know you were a special guest on a show, and you got the answer right. How tall is too tall? Come on now.
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure, I don't know. Okay. So first off, yeah, I was on the Game Informer show. Right
yes,
right
Game
now,
Informer.
yeah, right now, it's hit, I think, about like 4K worth of
Oh,
people have like watched the episode so far. So I actually was able to get that spot because I donated to a charity,
mm-hmm.
um, a little while back, and yeah, and that afforded me the capability to be on. So that link will be in the show notes if you want to watch that episode of Game Informer. But beyond that, yeah, it was just a real cool experience. We got to talk about Horizon Zero Dawn. They did like
Yep.
a little interview about me. They're asking me about my friends, this podcast and so forth, which is really cool. And then yeah, what else? What else did we talk about? We talked about
Pokemon.
triangle strategy, Pokemon. Yeah, and I was just really fascinated. I was really curious to see how it is like behind the scenes in them recording, even though I wasn't there at the studio. I got to see how they recorded and kind of how they operate it, and they made me feel good about our podcast. I can definitely say that much.
Oh, they did. Oh, all right. On. Are
Yeah,
we
yeah,
doing it? We're doing everything right or
we're
everything
doing we're
wrong?
doing we're doing pretty well, all considering. So yeah, we're doing pretty well. But yeah, it was just a real good time. Alex and Alex were so great. I got to talk to Matt Miller for a quick second.
Oh, Matt Miller, right on.
Yeah, Kim was on there. It was Ben Reeves left the week before, so I didn't get to have a chance to talk with him. I didn't have a chance to talk with Reiner also. But yeah, since then, Are we've got, people have been commenting on the episode on YouTube, so I just
Mm-hmm.
been talking with those people and answering them back. We got a couple new followers that way,
Oh
and
yes.
yeah, I'm looking forward to continue those relationships and those network connections, and I hope to talk to the Alexes again soon and everyone there at Game Informer. Um, yeah, just an awesome experience, and just humbled that I was able to do that. And now I'm friends with Khalif on Spawn on Me, the Spawn on Me podcast. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to like talking to him. Hopefully he gets to hear this. Hopefully he tunes in, and get to talk to him for a quick moment. But that's all I got. So I mean that was like the highlight of my week, probably the highlight of my podcasting career, maybe. I don't know. But it was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
fun. But we've been talking a lot about, what we've been up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's dive in. With the waiter, the I know the viewers are waiting for us to, talk about games. So
All right. Okay. So, yeah, yeah. One more comment is I'll say we're just networking in our own way, just definitely. But we'll definitely keep it up, and
mhm.
just one thing about the whole podcasting space in general, just network, talk, talk, talk. But it's very exciting, very, very good. All right. So let's get into our first story. Not about necessarily a game, but Luna, Amazon Luna, and it's a little different than Google Stadia, as you don't subscribe to just one subscription, but they have multiple channels where you can subscribe to multiple subscriptions. Um, they ditched their beta program finally, so anyone who wants it can play it, and pretty much they have games available for Prime members who will get access for through March 8th through the 14th for such games such as Devil May Cry 5, Observer, System Redux, Fogs, and Flashback, along with Immortals Phoenix Rising. And then they also have different channels. The name of the different channels are, let's see, the Retro channel. You also got uh, Jackbox Party Pack titles, or the Jackbox Games channel, excuse me. And then you also got the Luna Couch, and I know there are a couple more on there, but it's looking pretty good. And I'm very curious to see how Amazon does in the gaming space. Hopefully, they do a lot better than Google. I mean, I'll definitely check it out. The only thing is that controller. It reminds me of a certain controller that I've seen before. Hmm. What are your thoughts, Linus?
I mean, you know what they said the controllers have been essentially perfected. So, in terms of controller schemes, they're not going to change too much from our current iterations. No one's going to create another 64 controller, or, no one's going to go back to the GameCube style controller unless you're playing Smash. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Luna is not. It's not like one of the best, cloud-based systems out there. But I do respect it because over Google Stadia, you could actually purchase the games.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
that's a
That's a
plus on
big
the
win.
that's a plus on the Amazon side. In terms of their game development, it's been an absolute mess.
Yeah.
They've been delaying, canceling games left and right. But I believe they do have a game that they purchased a company that just released a game that I believe we might be talking about later today. I'll fact check that before I put that out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the last thing I want is someone in the comments to be like, "Oh no, you're totally wrong," But
Yeah.
that's okay too if that does happen, because I probably will say a couple things that are wrong today. But yeah, I mean, it's Luna. It's another option, and that's the main part. Is that that's the best thing about it. The games aren't really there. It's a lot of old games. Sonic Racing, like you see on the screen, is just given
Yeah.
out for free for PlayStation Plus. A lot of these
Hmm.
games you can play on Game Pass. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome that it's free. It's actually not free because you have to be a Prime member, and
Prime
Prime just
members.
raised their prices.
Yeah.
So now
True. True
it's like
that.
when I first started Prime, I was on the student plan, and I was paying like $50 a year.
Yeah,
And
no, I mean,
now
I pay
now it's
monthly. It's like what 120,
ooh,
but yeah,
it's like $15 a month.
yeah,
Yeah, that adds up, bud.
yeah, yeah,
You just need to do the yearly if you're
yeah,
you know, because you'll save like $40 now doing the
yeah.
yearly.
I'll
But
talk to my
yeah.
wife because I know they are raising their prices, so that's something that we do need to talk about. So we'll definitely get on that because yeah, Prime. I mean, I like it. It's amazing, but yeah, they keep raising their prices, man.
Yeah, and this is just a part of the industry, you know, all these
Mm,
subscription services, they get you in cheap and then they raise their prices. But
yeah,
that's just how the, you know, the market works more or less.
yeah, but yeah, from what I'm seeing with the games with the Luna right now, nothing screams at me to say, "Hey, try this out." No, and just because you can play a lot of these games elsewhere, and I have elsewhere, consoles around me. I don't need to really purchase it, but I mean, I am a little curious to see how it does, and if I see a game that's an Amazon exclusive, I'll definitely give it a try.
Hmm. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to double check this. So we're going to be talking about Lost Ark today, and
Mm,
Amazon Games is the reason why Lost Ark. Amazon purchased the developer, and so Lost Ark actually got released in the U.S. Because of Amazon, and Lost Ark is killing it right now,
mm,
killing it.
yeah.
You know, it's a free isometric. It's a free game. It's a isometric or 2.5D, whatever you want to call it, view. Very much Diablo esque, and we're gonna get into that game later. But that
Hmm.
game is Amazon's essentially first successful game. So
All right.
yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it a little later on the show. Um, so we'll hold that. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of Game Pass, I know you mentioned that. Game Pass has some more games coming out this month. It seems like we talk about Game Pass on every show because
Hmm.
they put out games at the beginning of the month,
Yeah, I
middle of the
hate
month,
that.
and yeah. So it's like I feel like we talk about it more than like Nintendo and like PlayStation Plus games or PlayStation Now, even like when it comes to these games. But
Well, yeah,
here,
because they I mean, PlayStation Now, like, they put them out and then they're out, you know? There's no,
yeah.
like they don't keep on adding games throughout the
Adding
month,
games
but
and removing games. Yeah, but here are the games that they're adding. Mark, aka Mr. Madness's favorite, Flight Simulator,
mhm,
Far Changing Tides, Kentucky Route Zero, the TV edition, Big One, Guardians of the Galaxy, Young Souls. What else we got? Fighting Returns, and another one of Mark's favorites, Lawn Mowing Simulator. So some of these games are already available. No, wrong page there. Some of these games are already available. We got oh, no, wrong page again. um, let's see, March 2nd, you had Changing Tides, Flight Simulator available, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13, pretty much. And then on the 10th, you're getting the other games, Kentucky Route Zero, Lawn Mowing Simulator, Marvel's Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Young Souls. Pretty much all of them are going to be available for cloud, console, and PC. Lawn Mowing Simulator, with the exception, that's going to be available for Xbox One. Games that are leaving the service, and there's always something leaving the service. Already left early this month. You also got Near Automata leaving March 15th, along with Fogs, The Surge 2, and Torchlight 3.
mhm.
So, any games that well, obviously, because one of the games on this list was one of your top games of the year last year.
Yeah.
Besides that game, any of these other games that anyone should be looking to play or looking to play before it leaves the service?
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be I'm interested in Far. So that game right there, I'm interested in just, like, diving into that and getting my hands on that because that's a new release. So that's
Mhm.
like that's essentially a day one release, that Xbox Game Pass is gonna have available to people. So it's an indie game. I'm really not too sure about the story. I've seen a couple trailers for it, but, curious, yeah, I'm curious to dive in and see what that's about. Flight Simulator is just a beast. You can now play in the Xbox One, so that's pretty cool now that it's cloud based. Ooh, Bravo Matic in the chat says
Yes, yes.
Destiny.
The story's coming, Bravo. If you're still watching,
Yeah,
keep it coming. Yeah, it's yeah we're a couple stories away from it, but yeah, we will be
yeah.
talking some Destiny 2 later on, man.
We'll definitely be talking some Destiny. Um, let's see. I mean, you know, Final Fantasy Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns is always a great game, great RPG. But the only game I really want to talk about here is Guardians of the Galaxy. So may I?
Yeah, I figured. Yeah,
Okay,
floor is
okay.
yours.
Well, I mean, it's just because like last week when we spoke about Guardians of the Galaxy, Yosuke Matsuda,
Mhm.
the Square Enix president, claimed like that the Q3 financial results for Guardians of the Galaxy were under their expectations, and the game struggled at launch. So they talked about how they're going to do different incentives to further increase the sales of that game. So then a week later, all of a sudden it gets announced for Game Pass. So they obviously partner with Xbox in the hopes that people will play Guardians of the Galaxy, it'll get more exposure, and people will buy the game. So I think like that's like the biggest part of that because that is such a come up. I you know
Mhm.
I'm damn, I can't believe Xbox was able to snatch that game up. I think it's been what, 6 months. It was like October of last year, so
Maybe
like
like
6
maybe a
months.
little under 5 months, like about 5 months right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is a come up. If you have not played Guardians of the Galaxy, people, look in my eyes. Go play Guardians of the Galaxy.
look in
It
his
is
eyes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, don't look at my eyes right now. I'm pretty tired actually, but
Oh,
yeah, no, Guardians of the Galaxy was such a good game. I know these characters better than I know the movie characters because they dive into their stories so much. They have some they have some real tear jerkers within the story of the game. There's a lot of there's a lot of communication between the characters and a lot of talking and everything, but it's worth it. It's really worth like listening to those characters and going through all the story beats, just to hear the characters talk and sometimes just stand around and just listen to the characters talk. And there's like when you go into like certain like secret caves and stuff, like a certain character will follow you,
hmm.
and then just so they can speak with you alone, so they can like really dive into their past and stuff like that. And the fighting gameplay it's not it's better than Avengers.
Yeah,
But
it is
it's
better than
very
Avengers, but it
yeah,
will.
it's more of a tactical game in the
Hmm.
sense of the fighting. So if you're like used to strategy games or tactical games like Fire Emblem or something to
Yeah.
that realm, Guardian of the Galaxy kind of takes hints like that. Or if you played Final Fantasy VII remake, it definitely takes that active time battle system and puts it to good use.
Yeah. I wasn't the biggest fan of the fighting system. I mean, I was playing it. I did stop. I do want to jump back into it just to continue the story. Really, if I do finish the game, it will definitely be because of the story. And from what I've seen with the story so far, it's very good. Well, it's not the worst I've seen, but it's not what I was expecting. I really just wish I could control all these characters or just whoever I want, not just Star Lord.
Hmm.
But I see where they're coming from with it, So
Yeah,
I mean,
after
but
the Avengers, you should be happy.
yeah, yeah. It's
You can
definitely
only play one character.
it's definitely an upgrade above the Avengers. So yeah, just definitely if you're looking for a good Marvel game to pick up that's recent, definitely go with Guardians of the Galaxy. But it's available on Games Pass, so
Mhm.
yeah, definitely check it out.
What was
Uh,
before you in there? What other games you said I can talk about other game? I can only talk about
oh,
any other game besides Guardian of the Galaxy. What
oh,
other games on this would you say
what I
people should
recommend?
look into?
I would probably say they should look into uh, probably Lightning Returns if you were into the whole Final Fantasy 13. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, I know like the one of the sequels to Final Fantasy 13 was like kind of crappy because it was
Yeah,
like you just got monsters to fight with you and it's just like, all right, what is this? Another version of like Pokemon or something like that, you know? But
yeah.
that would definitely check that out. And Young Souls also look pretty good too.
Okay.
But we all know what Mark would recommend, the simulator game.
Lawn mowing simulator, right? That was the one on there.
Lawn mowing simulator.
Mhm.
Oh man, and then the Microsoft Flight Simulator, which yeah, I guess
Flight
is
no, Flight Simulator is bomb, bro. Like,
oh.
if you just, like, wanna kick back and just, like, fly across the I mean, it's the graphical fidelity,
Mhm.
that really it just speaks to it, the fact that you can fly over London, Paris, France, Australia now,
What up,
San
Matt?
Francisco, and, check out these places, like, that's that's what it's about right there.
All right, so Bravo, if you're still watching, we're about to jump into Destiny 2 on the Steam
Ooh.
Deck, and if you played on your Steam Deck, if you have one, guess what? You're getting banned. All right. I want to read something from the Twitter page that I came up across. Steam Deck and Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is not supported for play on the Steam Deck or any system utilizing Steam Plays Proton unless Windows is installed and running. Players who attempt to launch Destiny 2 on the Steam Deck through Steam OS or Proton will be unable to enter the game and will be returned to their game library after a short time. Players who attempt to bypass Destiny 2 incompatibility will be met with a game ban. Sounds like they mean business.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just and then here was another quote I pretty much came across. Our goal is to maintain a secure environment for Destiny 2 as it features both PvE and PvP combat in an evolving dynamic world. Maintaining the integrity of our security is a complex and long term process, which is coming from Bungie themselves.
Mhm.
They say a bunch of other stuff, but I'm not going to get into all that. But pretty much, if you have a Steam Deck and you are a Destiny 2 gamer player, don't try it. Don't do it. It's not worth it, in my opinion. I mean, I don't really play Destiny 2 really at all anymore. I know Bravo was trying to get me back into it when I was kicking it with them last week, but it's not. Yeah, I don't play it, and then it's just like I don't see why people would want to get the upper hand playing these games anyway, man. I mean, I just never understood it. Just I always play the game, just with integrity, unless I find a cheese spot where like I can get like some exotics or something,
Yeah.
which I did a couple times. I'm not gonna lie, but
Oh, yeah, we all cheesed the hell out of Destiny. That was the way to play. That was the way to play for
yes,
sure.
yes, yes. But I mean, how do you feel about this Bungie stance on this? Are you with them or?
Yeah, I mean, this is, early last year, I mean, Bungie had a hell of a time dealing with, just bringing, Destiny to PC and dealing with, like, they had anti-cheat in the game, but just it ruined Trials of Osiris, it ruined PvP, and they just came out with a new expansion, the Witch Queen, and they're just getting in a good place. Like the Queen story was good. They just did the raid last week. They just did the race for the raid, and now they just had their first Trials of Osiris this week in the game. So, or yeah, this it was either this week or last week. But yeah, so I mean, they're finally getting into a good place, and it's taken years of like trial and error. And with the Steam Deck, it is so multifunctional, and you're able to emulate and do all these like custom mods, and it's a Linux based PC in a handheld. So I mean, there's
Yeah.
just so much you can do with it. Yeah,
Oh
but I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm totally fine with that. Who wants to play Destiny? Like really, realistically, like unless you're playing like the PvE,
Hmm.
like who wants to play the PvP on a Steam Deck? That is
Not
sounds
me.
I know the Steam Deck is like better than a Switch and it's better than the Iano, whatever that thing is called, that
Yeah, I know.
Android-based
Yeah,
handheld.
I know what you're talking about.
But it's it's still a handheld. You need those fast, quick twitch reflexes to play this game. I mean, why would you want to get murdered on a Steam Deck where you're playing in 800p, and
Yeah, it's not even highest FPS. So yeah,
yeah,
so
and you're playing at 30 frames a second. Like that does not sound like a great time. And the game's not even native. Like it's not natively compatible for the Steam Deck either right now.
no.
So yeah, it just doesn't sound like a good idea whatsoever. But I mean, people are gonna do what they're gonna do. Just be ready to get banned. That ban
Yeah,
hammer. Psh.
yeah, it's definitely coming for sure. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but it's like, yeah, it's a lot of people, using their lag switches and all that stuff, and it's just, I just feel it just takes the fun out of the game. But yeah, just figured we bring that up. If you do try running Destiny 2 on your Steam Deck, if you have one, I don't see why you would, but be prepared to get banned if you try to bypass. All right, so just a fair warning there. All right, so apparently the PS5 has been out about 2.5 years now, and apparently they are going with they're sending out dev kits of the PS5 Pro to some
Whoa.
developers.
Back that up. We don't know that.
We don't
We
know
don't
that.
know that.
Well, it's just a rumor.
Yeah.
It's just a rumor. But if they are, and we'll make this quick since this is just a rumor. Do you think any PS5 Pro dev kits are in the wild right now with any developers out there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, this is kind of like a story non-story.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why I'm not buying a PlayStation 5 right now because
You want the
the
Pro?
next what's that?
You want the Pro, just like the Nintendo Switch
Well,
Pro?
not even necessarily a Pro. It's just that we know that another PlayStation iteration or a SKU is gonna come out. Like, I'm gonna get the smaller, more
They're not making a
powerful.
small. They're not making a smaller one and more powerful.
Well,
The brick I got next to my monitor screen right here. That's the most powerful one they're making. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. I li you better believe that. Yeah, I'm gonna get the smaller, more powerful one with the better hard drive. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So I'm not gonna have my PlayStation 5 for at least another year or two. But yeah, we might get we had the PlayStation VR announced earlier this month, or I'm sorry, in
Last month.
February. Yeah,
Last
last
month. Yeah.
month. So we had that, announced in February. That's going to come out, and then, you'll see another iteration or another SKU of the PlayStation 5 announced maybe the year after or 2 years after, guaranteed for sure.
Guaranteed. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get a PlayStation 4 Pro, so I don't think I'll be getting a PS5 Pro. I mean, I just don't think. I
Hmm.
don't know. That's just me. I mean, some people, yeah, I just felt like I didn't need it personally. So, I think the Pro system's overrated unless it's Nintendo. Now, if they come out with a
Yeah.
Switch Pro, I'm all in. It better be, what it is, what they say it is. Hopefully. All right. So yeah, just a little bit of a rumor out there that PS5 Pro dev kits are out in the
Who
wild.
started this rumor, or who who? Why are we reading this right now?
Because recently Sony, they sent out a shipment of of development kits to Oakland. They apparently don't know why, but apparently they shipped 1,500 pounds of video game console prototypes from London to Norfolk, Virginia.
Hmm.
Well,
Okay.
it's only
I'm
been discovered by Tweaktown.
okay. Cool. Just curious.
Mm. But I thought it was interesting, and just rumors. You gotta love them, right?
I guess if they're true.
If they're
Yeah.
true, yeah, if they're true or not. Okay, so We are going to talk about some of the most top video game characters of all time. Looking at this list, we'll be quick about it.
Mhm.
Anyone on this list that surprises you, and I'm guessing Mario number one, Link number two. I'm surprised to see Master Chief at number three, but I mean, it's in the Guinness Book of World Records, and I think a limited number, like only 13,000 gamers were like voted on it or something like that. But
Oh, so that's nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's nothing. But I mean, I thought it was interesting to say the least. But I mean, I was going through this list and I didn't even see like Luigi on here, but Lara Croft was in the top 10. Gordon Freeman from Half Life in the top 10. Kratos, God of War. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Mhm.
Sonic, number 10. Crash Bandicoot, Soap, McTavish, Call of
Are
Duty
you
4.
are you reading them in order?
Yeah, I'm just going through like
Okay.
some of the ones I'm seeing. And then, some of them I'm a little surprised, like CJ from GTA San Andreas. Oh, he was
Mm.
above your Mega Man from Mega Man. But yeah, anyone on this list that you were surprised to see as high as they were. But don't forget, this is only from like a select list of 13,000 heads.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Soap,
Yeah, so
McTavish from Call of from Call of
yeah,
Duty
that
4,
that was pretty. That
and Modern
number
Warfare.
12.
Yeah, that was like, really? Um, yeah, that kind of blew my mind. We may have to provide the link to this article
Yeah,
from creativeblog .com to so people can look at this list.
yeah,
Also,
it'll be in the
I
show notes.
and then right after Soap, there was Nico Bellic from Grand Theft Auto at 13, and I
Oh
was just
man.
like, from Grand Theft Auto 4, that really surprised me also. Um, sh- Pretty shocked about those ones because I mean those are such forgettable characters in my eyes.
Yeah,
Let's see, but I mean 1,300 people did vote on this, so maybe it's just me.
yeah, maybe. I
Um,
mean,
yeah.
Altair from Assassin's Creed at number 30. He beat out Zelda from The Legend of
Mhm,
Zelda at 31, and
mhm,
Donkey Kong and Ezio from Assassin's Creed 2.
mhm.
Wow. I mean, it's an intriguing list, and part of me just wants to submit this list to Nintendo's like, get all these characters in your game, just open it back up. Let's get Altair, let's get Nathan Drake, let's get Ratchet. Well, I don't think they'll go Ratchet or even Nathan Drake for that matter, but let's get some of these other third party characters like Lara Croft and I think I think they have a better chance of getting like Master Chief from Microsoft, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Or let's get Shadow from Sonic Adventure 2,
Oh, I was shocked that Shadow was on this list too,
Yeah, not
for top video game characters of all time. Like, really,
yeah,
Shadow
yeah,
in the top 50? Like, Shadow would be like 195 to me. Like,
yeah.
if we did
Like
like a top 500.
Tails and Knuckles are above Shadow in my opinion. So
Yeah,
this is
same
a
here.
kind of a yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, hey, that's how people. Hey, I want to vote next time on these video game characters. So I could show you who really is number one. But I think just about everyone's will probably agree that Mario's probably the number one video game character of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty tough one to fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Mario. Yeah, just I don't care. I don't care what company you rep. What super fan you are of what other company. Yeah, you gotta show your credit where credit's due to Mario. Yeah. Change the escaping of games, and at least in the U.S. in my opinion. So all right, so moving on, and we're going to get into a bit of a serious topic here, but the video game industry is taking a stand against Russia. So just before I continue, just if the Ukraine, just know that our hearts are with you. Just what's happening right now. Just a scary, scary thing. Hopefully, with it doesn't continue and that it doesn't get worse to the point where we're seeing World War III. Just gonna be just try to be very respectful as possible. But it seems like a lot of companies are just taking a stand against Russia right now. You're seeing, companies like Nintendo stopping eShop payments and other tech companies, stopping, sales of video games. Um, you see, The Witcher, Project Red. Just a lot of, just companies are just taking a stand, against Russia and I didn't even put this on the show notes, but even like the Sonic movie, I hear it's not even going to come out right now
Yeah.
in April. So,
Yeah,
um,
I have a list right here of all the companies that are currently
mm,
taking a stand, so I'll just run down them real quick.
mm,
So, Apple, the tech giant,
Apple,
has stopped selling, yeah, its products.
oh,
Microsoft, has suspended all sale of its products. Google, they can still use the search engine, but they've suspended its all advertising, all that like the entire advertising side. Um, they have also suspended the revenue from YouTube in all of Russia, and then Samsung suspended
mm,
shipments to Russia as of Friday. Snapchat, stopped all messages and ad sales from or to Russia, I should say. And then Airbnb they suspended all operations in Russia, and let's see, and also people for the Ukraine that have Airbnb accounts. People are able to pay for rooms, even though they're not going there, to help support people that
mm,
are living in the Ukraine, which is absolutely awesome. But I mean,
yeah,
you can just there's plenty of charities and fundraisers to donate to also. Um, the Disney the Disney company has halted all their theatrical releases.
yeah,
Sony, um, let's see, they stopped all upcoming theatrical releases in Russia also. And as far as the PlayStation 5, let's see, doesn't look like there's anything that I see here, but I'm pretty sure they've halted like the PSN or at least sales in the
yeah,
PSN store.
yeah,
Um, Warner Brothers, I'm just gonna keep this short. Warner Brothers, Paramount, Universal,
mm,
Nintendo, Electronic Arts, Intel, and Netflix, BMW, Ford, GM, and Honda all have taken a stand in solidarity
mm,
against what's going on in Russia for this unfounded war.
yeah, yeah. Just very bad situation. Hopefully, you know, peace talks continue, and hopefully they get this just resolved. I mean, it's unfortunate people, losing their lives, and
Mhm.
just big ups to the companies for just standing with the Ukraine on this.
Yeah.
As do I. All right, so figured we would talk about that. Moving on, Lost Ark. I'll let you take that one away, F man.
Yeah, so for this conversation, I mean, Lost Ark, they've banned over a million illegitimate accounts that have been running bots. In addition to that, let's see, Lost Ark, their devs, just they've had a huge launch and they've been having a ton of service issues. But for their 1 month anniversary, they just been celebrating a huge community that's just come forth to support this game in Steam, Twitch, and all other platforms. Um, they right now they're sitting at 134K viewers on Twitch. You know, the only thing above it is Elden Ring and Grand Theft Auto. Um, and this game came out in 2018, but Amazon, once it had purchased the studio Smilegate RPG, and Amazon brought it to the States. And like I said earlier, it is a Diablo-esque type of MMO isometric view. So yeah, and there's just so many systems that they've been building on, and they just had this huge update. But yeah, Lost Ark is killing it. Honestly, it came out of nowhere for me. I never heard of the game.
Yeah, me. I think I may have
Mhm.
seen like a blurb for it or something, but yeah, I never. Yeah, this is like all new to me. I mean, I've been reading more about it like recently, and have you haven't played it yet, have you? Or
No, I haven't played it yet. No.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know if I mean there's just too many games for me
yeah, at the
personally right
moment,
now.
yeah. I mean, I'm
But
thinking about taking a dive into it. We'll have to wait and see. It probably wouldn't be this week or anytime soon, but
no.
I mean, it looks interesting. I want to look more into the game. I'll probably just watch some video on Twitch or whatnot, see what it's all about, and
Mhm.
see if it's something I want to stick my teeth into.
Yeah, I mean, they just released the update. Like I said, it just has a whole bunch of new in-game content. A whole bunch of new content for beginners. Yeah, and then yeah, I just hear it's a ton of fun. And I mean, it's free. It's a free
Mm,
MMO, of course. There's gonna be microtransactions and stuff like
yes,
that. But
yeah.
yeah, it's other than that. I mean, yeah, you can jump in. It's free to play on PC, and yeah, it's killer. It's Steam's second most played game of all time right now.
Second,
Yeah.
you're you mean just for free games or of all the games?
Uh, no,
I got no
no,
all.
it's a second most
Oh,
played game of all time out of everything.
oh,
Um, and they
well,
describe it as a dungeon crawler MMO.
okay.
Yeah, a free to play
I think we've
dungeon.
really been missing something here, man. So, all right. I mean, I'll definitely do some more. If it's the second most game of all time, I gotta at least for Steam users, I gotta just I gotta see what's going on, see what the big hype is. But definitely, I think it would be a good alternative for from Diablo, especially with what's going on with Activision right now. And
Well, I mean, you have to be Elden Ring first, right?
oh yeah, Elden Ring. Yeah, too many games.
Yeah.
But yeah, just too many of them. But hey, that's why we're gamers, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, so that does it for our gaming news call outs for the week. Now we get into our main discussions, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun with these main discussions.
Hmm.
First, we're gonna celebrate the Nintendo Switch. It turned 5 years old on March the 3rd or March the 4th, and
Woo!
yeah,
Happy birthday, Switch!
happy
Woo!
birthday, Switch, and to another 5 years. I think, and this is just what I think. I think we will still be playing the Nintendo Switch. Maybe a Nintendo Switch Pro, but I don't think we'll have the Switch 2. I don't know,
I don't know either.
but I mean, I mean, the impact it has had so far on gaming. It just seems like we've had like a lot of you know things out there try to clone it. I think one of those examples would be the Steam Deck. Even though I don't think they're in direct competition. I mean, let's be real. We all know it was inspired by the Switch, right?
I don't know
Or
about no. I think they said it was in production before the Switch came out. They said,
oh no, they're lying. The 5 years. Oh well, maybe.
look it. I mean, very much the Steam Deck could have taken notes from it, but I'm sure Valve was, even before Valve, there's been a ton of companies that have tried to, basically make a small PC, that have really tried to
Okay, I'll give you
cram
that.
a
I know.
PC.
All right,
It's just
I'll
only
give you that
recently
one.
the technology's been there, but yeah.
Mm. All right. Yeah, it's had a great impact, and just from the people that have bought the thing, it's just you, I did honestly after the Wii U, I thought Nintendo. I didn't think that they were finished. I didn't
Mhm,
think they would ever have another high selling console ever again, such as the Wii. And boy, was I dead wrong because this is their highest selling console ever before even their 5 year mark.
mhm.
So, what does that tell you? Is it? like I said, I think it's going to pass everything that's below it so far. I think the real question is it going to catch up to the PS2? I keep just asking myself,
Mm,
can
what's the
can it get
PS2 currently set at?
155? I believe
Okay.
155.
Um, okay, I got 158.
158. All right, it was. I
Yeah.
know it was 150 something, but
Okay.
um, do we see this thing passing the PS2? Because I think it's going to pass everything else. I think it'll eventually pass the PS4, the Game Boy, the DS family of systems.
I think if they come out with another SKU, if they really come out with like whatever it is, not the Switch 2, but if they come out with a more powerful Switch, then yes. And very much like the 3DS, they'll count it all as the same thing, even though they're not the
Hmm.
same thing.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
which is kind of cheating because the PlayStation 2
it is.
the PlayStation 2, was very much the only thing that changed was the size and the form factor.
Yeah,
There was nothing else besides that. It got smaller, thinner, which is I think like the thinnest console of all time. I could be wrong.
yeah. Well, the PS1
Um,
well, the PS1 when they made that thing thin, that was thin too. But yeah, I think maybe the PS2 was a little thinner than that. I could be wrong,
yeah.
but
But yeah, regardless of the size, PlayStation 2 only had one version in
mhm.
terms of like what it did and what its function was. And then the Switch has already had three different SKUs, and they're all being counted as the same thing. So I would put an asterisk right there next to whatever the Switch sales numbers are. But
So you're saying that the Switch and the Switch Lite, you think they're through two different systems? That's how you would go about it.
yeah, one's a handheld and one's a console. Like,
But they
you
play the
know,
same games. Most of them, not all, but most
Yeah,
of the same
yeah,
games.
they don't play all the same games. Um, yeah, no, I don't know. Like I don't think it's the same. But
All
it
right.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think because they're gonna count it as the same thing. So in terms of the sales number, I don't think it's gonna catch the PS2. I think it'll get close. I think it'll probably hit like 130s, 140s over the next 2, 3 years.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna catch it unless Nintendo comes out with another SKU.
Yeah. If they come up with a Switch Pro, they would keep that in, the family, right? I think so. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah. So yeah. I mean, hopefully they just make it more powerful. Maybe not the Switch 2, but the Switch Pro.
yeah. I currently have the Switch at 100. I'm just gonna say 104 million. Um,
104. Yeah.
yeah, I just rounded up, but yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, definitely 104 million. If they can double that in the next 5 years,
Hmm.
game over. I don't think any other console would ever catch it. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, it's just us as gaming enthusiasts. We just want this thing to be more powerful and reach its full capability level. Yet it doesn't do that. But apparently, it's outselling all these other consoles.
Mhm. Well, I mean, it really did replace the 3DS and the
Yeah,
Game
it
Boy
did.
Advance,
Yeah.
and the SP. Everyone wants a handheld gaming machine. Um,
Yep.
you
Yes, we
know,
do.
not everyone, but people that are interested in playing, that don't want to sit on their couch and they just want a
Mm.
console to play with them. And Nintendo's games are only on Nintendo. It has that exclusivity um, feature where you can only play Nintendo games where you can play them, and that's on Nintendo consoles. So
Yeah.
that very much is gonna take all those Nintendo fans, which there are more than ever now, and
More
and
than
really
ever.
allow them to play those games on that particular console. And then with them getting rid of the 3DS and stuff like that, this is combining two markets, one for console gamers and one for handhelds, and
Yeah.
you know, basically funneling them all down the same tunnel now. So yeah, this is
Yeah.
it's not surprising to me that the sales are really as high as they are. But I mean, they're doing well. They should
Yeah.
be happy. They
Yeah.
should be
They are
happy with the
killing
amount
it.
of games. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we've talked about the impact it has had, and the impact it will probably have on the future. But how let's just jump into it. Speaking of the Switch Pro, looks like rumors have set up again, and we've all heard about it this week. Nvidia had a breach, and I guess
Mhm.
during the breach, they found out information about Nintendo's next upcoming console. So now the Switch 2 slash Switch Pro is in the news again. I mean,
Mhm.
let's just be real about it. And I think this is just gonna be just like a yearly thing. Just when is the Switch 2 coming out? When is the Switch Pro coming out? I mean, let's be real. I mean, Bloomberg had it all over the place last year that Nintendo's going to announce its Switch Pro any day now, and people were waiting for it and never got announced. And then they announced the OLED, which is pretty much the exact same thing. The only thing it really benefits is just the handheld players. I mean, that's why I never bought one. But I mean, yeah, just if I think if I don't know. I mean, they just put out a new SKU just last year. I don't see them doing one again this year. I think the soonest they would announce a new iteration of the Switch would probably be sometime in 2023. That's just my
2020
guess.
2023, you think that soon? For me, I would say I think the next Switch iteration is coming out 2025. Unless
Okay.
like sales significantly dip. If I mean, because the as we've seen every year for the last 3 years, the Switch's sales numbers have gone up every year, and they always sell out around Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and
Yep.
Christmas, and going into the holiday season. And then
Mm,
they're pretty weak for the most of the year, and then they sell whatever hundreds of thousands or millions of units within that short span. Um, so I mean, if unless we see a dip this year, I think if we saw a dip this year, Nintendo would start preparing for that launch, and then we would get through 2023. Uh, yeah, I think I'm kind of thinking about it just like in terms of timeline. Um, Yeah, I would say 2024 would be the earliest, but I think 2025
okay.
would be more realistic. Maybe like late 2024.
Okay, late 2024. All right, I'm going
Yeah.
2023. I think that would be the earliest for me. I don't think they're going to announce anything new this year. Maybe some new accessories, but well, we will just have to wait and see.
Mhm.
And just now that we talked about our future predictions with Nintendo, let's talk about some games with Nintendo.
Mhm.
One of the reasons why people buy the Switch, right? Besides just trying to hack it and use emulators and not that I'm encouraging anyone to do that, but
Oh, just real quickly. Breaking news right now. Yeah, breaking news.
breaking news. We need a breaking
So
news alert.
I should have brought this up during the Steam Deck talk, but Nintendo is banning videos on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I heard
Um,
about that.
yeah, because of all the emulation videos that people are putting up to like so people can put Nintendo games on the Steam Deck, which I think is hilarious. But Nintendo better they better have a quick finger on that ban hammer because
Yeah,
people are gonna keep on uploading those videos. It's gonna be on websites, it's gonna be on Reddit, it's gonna be on everything. So yeah,
yeah. I
sorry.
mean, well, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, they're first and foremost. I will say this: I am a finance, as you know, I'm a big emulation guy, but
Mm,
I'm not into current gen emulation, if that makes
mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
So meaning if once it's past its life cycle, if you want to emulate it, that's fine. But if it's still like current gen, even like with this cross gen right now, like I wouldn't support like a PS4 emulator. I mean, I'm just being real with you. But yeah, so but I mean, I know people do find ways to run some of these Switch games, a lot faster. And I think Metroid Dread is a perfect example. It leaked. You can download the ROM or whatever. You have your Switch emulator. Apparently, it runs better than what it does on the hardware it was supposed to run on. And what does that tell me? It tells me that Nintendo needs to step their game up. Sort of.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fact. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I'm just be real. I mean, maybe back in the day I was a Nintendo fanboy, but now I just really call it down the line as I see it. Just
Mhm.
I want all the companies to do well, and if I feel a company can be doing better, like Nintendo, when it comes to certain things, I'll call them out on it. But I mean, all right, but let's get into some of these games. They have a lot of great games coming out, or that are already out. One game that
Mhm.
just came out this past week is Triangle Strategy. So, I mean, that's definitely, if you were a fan of, say, Octopath Traveler with that animation, and I love that animation, definitely give Triangle Strategy a try. It is a strategy game. It's starts out a bit slow from what I've been hearing, but, just if that is your grind, definitely go for it. Kirby and the Forgotten Land demo is out now. I will add it to my super big backlog of games to, to try to get to. I mean, but the game looks incredible. I mean, I definitely want to try it. I might even download it after we get off this podcast. I don't know. Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. I'm going to be putting my pre-order at GameStop for this game very soon. I got my uh, it's going to be circled on my calendar when I pick up this game up. It actually is making me want to get back into War Groove a bit. And War Groove was a very good game, very similar to Advance Wars. So uh, check that out. Nintendo Switch Sports. If you liked Wii Sports, you should like Switch Sports. Motion
Mhm.
controls. Mario Strikers Battle League. Mario Strikers is always a good game. I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but hey, it looks like mad fun. Fire Emblem Warriors, Three Hopes. Not the biggest Fire Emblem fan, but definitely a good series. If you played Three Houses, that's definitely something right up your alley. Splatoon 3, probably I guess it's the only first-person shooter multiplayer one that you could play on the Switch. But Splatoon 2, that's fun. So you'll probably like Splatoon 3. Definitely. I mean, I actually still want to get Splatoon 2 low key. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Xenoblade Chronicles is a great JRPG series, and it's only on Nintendo. They need to put out Xeno Chronicles X on the Switch. They really need to remaster that one from the Wii U. With the Wii U shop closing, hopefully that game, hopefully they bring it to the Switch sooner rather than later. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You were talking about this on the recent Game Informer show that you were just on. I mean, I don't really watch Pokemon that much these days, but they got that coming. Bayonetta 3, still no release date. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Hate to say this, but still no release date. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. If you played the first one, you will. It's looking like you will probably really enjoy the second one. So, just keep an eye out on that. There's no release date for that one. Detective Pikachu 2. There's no release date. And of course, the biggest one, the one that everyone's waiting for, Metroid Prime 4. Still no release date. And Pikmin 4. And then, of course, the Nintendo DLCs and the online. Um, I'm really itching to. I might pay the extra $30 and get the Nintendo Switch online. I don't know why, but I might do it. Well, actually, I know why. It's when I was at the gaming expo,
Yeah.
they had these retrobit. You know how they make officially licensed Genesis controllers.
Yeah.
So I really want a wireless one. And when I was looking at the 6-button wireless one, I was told that they can work with Switch. And I'm like, okay. But then they also have this good one for N64, and that one's also compatible with Switch. So I tried that one out at their booth, and uh, let's just put it this way: if I do pay for the online subscription service, and I just might, um, I know what controllers I'm using. Then it's just a matter of me getting the controller.
Oh no, I already see that
Oh
smile on
man.
your face. So I already know you're gonna pick it up. Don't want, don't even play with us. Just go get it, man. Just look at you. I haven't seen you smile this hard for uh, since you bought your last controller. You have an obsession. You need help.
Yes, I do. I got
Yeah,
this the Power A controller.
yeah. You need help. I've never seen. Oh, I know there's a plenty of people that collect controllers, but you should ask the people at 8-Bit Dough for some sponsorship to sponsor this podcast because you have all the. I mean, you're their man. You're their go-to person. You're
Yes,
the perfect customer. You buy all their controllers and have been for years.
yeah, retro bit, 8-bit though. I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe I will reach out to them, but I mean, we'll have to wait and see if they do a sponsorship. I'll definitely get the controllers, bring them on the show, show you how it works. Maybe I'll do some gameplay. Yeah, we'll definitely see. But but yeah, so I mean, this whole list I just read out to you. This is the reason why people buy Nintendo, and it's because of their
Yep.
first party IPs, their first party content.
Mhm.
And one thing you could say, you could talk as much as you want to about their hardware. They know how to make games, and you
Yep.
got to give them credit where credit's due.
Yeah, no one can make those fun family-friendly games, and they always find some way to make some unique mechanic and like put it in their games. They're good. They're Nintendo's good. I can't, yeah, their hardware is another story. But yes,
Yeah, hardware is
their,
another.
their games are excellent
All
most of
right,
the time.
most of the time. All right, man. Well, all right. Anything else you got on Nintendo turning five? The Nintendo Switch turning five. Excuse me.
No, no, no. I would just say, nah, nothing important.
Nothing important. All right.
Yeah.
When are you getting your Switch? Just kidding. Just kidding.
When the next SKU maybe comes out, I might get it. I don't know. No, I have no plans anytime soon. So
All right. All right. Well,
PlayStation 5 is my next buy as far as I know. Or
not even the Switch. Not over the Switch. I thought you would have gotten the Switch for. Well,
I
I
mean,
guess
if
you.
the Switch goes on sale, I mean, I could pick one up. I could pick one up at any time. Like, there's nothing holding me back from buying a Switch other than I just don't care. I just don't care. Like, if I had I don't sell my consoles. If I had a Switch, I probably would have sold it.
Are you
Um,
serious? You're lying.
I am lying. That's an exaggeration. It may collect some dust, but I would never sell my consoles.
No.
Yeah, no, I, I don't know. I'll eventually pick up a Switch. Maybe next generation. I don't. Maybe in another
Well,
5 years, maybe 7 years.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
I think
it's
you
a
get
wait
it
and see.
sooner. It's a wait
Yeah.
and see game. All right. So with it being a bit of a slow news week and just the two of us on here today, I figured we'd do something a little fun. Well, we always have fun on the Game and Watch podcast, but we're going to talk about our top three favorite consoles of all time and why. We're going to talk
I didn't
about our
prepare for
favorite
this
games.
test.
You didn't prepare? Well,
I didn't
I can't
prepare for this test.
I came loaded, man.
Okay.
But so I mean, maybe I came a little too loaded. The accessory, what it means to us, and of course, do we still play games on the console? So you want me to go first? So we can go one. I could do one. You could do one,
Yeah,
or we
let's
could
yeah, hit all three of yours, and then we'll just break it up by topics. But yeah, hit all three of your game consoles first, and then I'll go.
all right. So it was very tough, but in no particular order. Super Nintendo,
Hmm.
PlayStation 3,
Hmm.
and believe it or not, I think you're gonna laugh, the Nintendo Switch.
Hmm. Oh, so I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time for me, just so I can.
Super Nintendo,
Super Nintendo,
PlayStation 3,
PlayStation 3,
Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch. Okay.
So, all right. So you go ahead. You ready?
Yeah. I think I'm as ready as I'm gonna be.
Ready as you're gonna be.
Yeah. This is tough. Okay.
This is tough.
This is this is really tough. It seems so easy for you.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I
Um,
mean, it was tough for me too. I mean, the PlayStation 4 did come very close. I'm not gonna lie, and yeah,
gosh,
but
okay. I'm gonna say the PlayStation 4.
PlayStation 4.
Yeah, the reason being is because like I do have access to so many of those old games, and I can play like
Mm,
I have all my modern games, and then I have like all my old games too. So like I'm sure if I had a PlayStation 5 and with Spartacus coming out and stuff like that, maybe it could be the PlayStation 5 later on. But I think for right now it's the PlayStation 4 because the PlayStation 3 load times were atrocious,
mm,
just atrocious. Like, and my games are always updating, and then my PlayStation 3 also died on me with the yellow light of death. So then I lost my ability to I had to buy one of the newer ones. So I couldn't play my PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 games on that system anymore.
nah.
So that sucked with the PlayStation 3. Bad experience.
Bad
Um,
experience. Okay,
Xbox
okay, fair enough.
360. Yeah,
Oh, so
Xbox
wait,
360. What's up?
360?
No, no, no.
That,
I was saying
oh,
also had a bad experience with the 360.
oh, I thought you were saying that
Uh,
was one of your favorites. I'm
with
like,
no with the yellow light of death. Um, but after that, oh gosh. Okay, so PlayStation 4, PlayStation 2,
PS2.
and then Super Nintendo.
All right, so we had one in common, Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
All right, so I think for me, why I made the selections I did, obviously, I'll just go into my favorite games, and you can go into your favorite games. We'll start with the Super Nintendo. So, I think I did over prepare. So I'm sorry, Finest. Ugh.
I please. This doesn't need. There's only two of us. This does not need to be a 2-hour podcast.
I'm not going to make it a 2 hour podcast, but I did bring some props with me.
Okay.
All right. So this
What
game
do you got
here,
there?
Donkey Kong Country 2.
Can you
Very
hold it
good
closer
game.
to the camera? Okay. Thank you.
Donkey Kong Country 2. The original Donkey Kong Country.
Hmm.
One of your favorites.
Yeah, that's the jam right there.
Yeah, definitely. Couldn't go to a Super Nintendo party without that one.
Hmm.
Mario All Stars.
Yeah, that was like the one. I think was that like the first like console compilation?
Yeah, I think
That
so. I could
game,
be wrong. I could be
yeah,
wrong, but
I
yeah,
could be wrong too, but man, that was like such a great game because you got so many games in one. It was like, oh my
yeah.
gosh, I have
And
to
they
buy this game.
and they rebuilt it like it was
Yeah.
like a complete like remake.
Hmm.
And I don't think people talked about it at the time, but those were like remakes of the original NES versions. They were in 16-bit,
Yeah.
so like you're low key, you're playing like a different game.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And then Tetris and Dr. Mario, another game, two other games you can play on the NES, but I think a lot of
Mhm.
people don't know this, but that they did have a Super Nintendo version of this. But
Okay.
so these are a few of the games I brought with me for the Super Nintendo. Other honorable mentions will be obviously a game I just played last year, Zelda: A Link to the Past, and of
Yep.
course Super Mario World and Super Mario Kart. But I hardly play that game because hey, I got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so why would I
Yeah.
play? I mean, I mean, I hate to say it, but racing games, retro racing games, just they don't really appeal to me. That's just me.
And I
But
stomp you in the retro ones.
you know, whatever, finest. But yeah, yeah, but it was the bulk of my childhood growing up. Just I mean, it was just what can I say? It was just one of the best consoles ever. Just in the mid '90s. That being on those playground battles between the SNES kids and the Sega Genesis kids, and what console was better. Nintendo's going out of business. Nintendo sucks. Nintendo don't. I mean. But hey, at the end of the day, it won the war, especially with the games like Donkey Kong Country. So I mean, and then definitely so I'll move on to the PS3. Got some more sack of games with me.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know we were bringing props. I have a whole bunch of props right here, but I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm gonna dig through them. I can dig through maybe a couple. I have
All
a
right. All
couple
right. No.
readily available.
All right. So Need for Speed, Hot
That
Pursuit.
was the jam.
Yes, I know you can also
Yeah,
play it on the 360. I have it remastered on the PS4.
so do I. Well,
Yeah, Assassin's Creed.
hmm
That was a great game. I
It
mean,
was
Altair,
for its time. Yeah.
for its time, yeah. I mean, I do. I think two is the best one, but definitely on the PS3, one of my favorites.
hmm
Spider-Man, Shattered
That was a pretty good
Dimensions.
Spider-Man game. Yeah.
It's very underrated in my opinion. Hopefully, they do a remaster on some of those old ones. I also like uh, Spider-Man Edge in Time as well, or Edge of Time, I believe it is.
I'm
Um,
not sure if I remember. I remember the name. I just can't picture it in my head
yeah,
right now.
I think it was the current Spider-Man and the 2099 Spider-Man that you could play as. Those just two of them.
Okay.
Um, One of my favorite wrestling games for the PS3,
Okay.
WWE
How
2K.
many more games do you got in your that pile of yours?
Just I'm just on five for each. That's all. So
Okay.
one more. Sonic Generations.
Okay. Cool.
So Sonic Generations. It's a good one. It's definitely a good one. And then I'll just run through the Switch games real quick. I only brought five, but
Only 5.
only five of my massive collection. Uh, Mario Maker 2.
Nice.
That should be in everyone's Switch collection.
Mhm.
Of course, this guy, the best Mario Kart game ever,
Yep.
Mario Kart Deluxe. Astral Chain, very underrated game. I
Yeah, it
think it
is.
didn't get it, yeah, but it was very good. If you ever play a Zelda game, I recommend this one. If you just play one,
Mhm.
try this one. It's a great remake. If you want to play the Game Boy version, you can, but this looks a lot better. They did. I know it got a lot of hate, but I don't know why. And then, of course, the game I played recently, as you all know, Metroid Dread.
Nice.
So yeah, before I forget, for all you audio listeners, I brought props and I'm showing some games. So definitely check out
That
the
that would have been good to know at the beginning, but yeah.
yeah, definitely check out the video version of this podcast if you don't, so you can see the games if you're interested. All right, so I know so yeah, maybe next time I'll tell you that, hey, bring some props, but I just figured I'd do this in my own way. So talk about some of
Yeah.
the favorite games for the PS2, PS4, and the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, okay. Since I didn't come as prepared as you, it's a little more difficult for me. But for for in terms of the PlayStation 4, the reason why I picked the PlayStation 4 as my top console of all time is because I have access to a lot of those older games that are on the PS3, that are on the PS2. And then they've added like a couple from the PS3. But the fact that I have the ability to play all those games, like the Need for Speed remaster, so happy that that came out to
Hot
PlayStation
Pursuit,
4.
yeah.
Scott Pilgrim, taken from the PS3 and that generation. Um,
Burnout Paradise, that was a good game.
yeah, Burnout Paradise is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, another game I forgot. I don't have it on the PS3,
Yeah,
but Saints Row the Third, they remastered that.
yeah.
That's you can play that on the PS4. So they did remaster like a lot of great titles from the PS3, Xbox 360 era onto the
Mhm,
PS4, Xbox One. So
yeah.
that's
And
very
then
good.
nostalgia, I love nostalgia, but what
Mm,
I've come in my older age, I realized like I'm the type of person where I need to leave nostalgia necessarily like really behind me because old games don't they don't hook me the same way that they used to. I don't like the mechanics. I don't like having like not having save states.
that's
And
what
just
emulators are for.
yeah, but we're talking about playing on these
Yeah,
consoles.
I get
So
it. Yeah,
just like that repetitive nature, and just playing those like levels over and over and over and
yeah.
basically memorizing like head to toe where the enemies are, where the bullet or the shot's going to come from, and just memorizing those older games in order to beat the levels, and then like only having a certain amount of like lives or having to get coins for lives or whatever that grind was. It was man, people don't know how difficult, like kids this
It was
generation do
hard.
not know
Uh,
how hard like it
Yeah,
is like.
I mean, you didn't have YouTube back then, so it's not
Yeah.
like, say, if you're playing, say, like Mega Man X, for example, one of your favorites.
Mhm.
You couldn't just be like, all right, I'm just gonna watch this. You had to get a strategy guide, and to get a strategy guide, you'd have to go to like your local game store
Yeah.
or like send a way forward through like a catalog or something,
Yeah,
and just hope it could. Yeah, man,
go to
just
no, Hallmark, the Hallmark store.
Hallmark. Okay.
They had a section for magazines, and I used to read the magazines there and get as many tips and memorize as much as I could, and then go home and yeah, then try to beat the game. That's how I used to roll. But that's why I picked the PS4. In terms of my second console, the PS2, the PS2 just had so many bangers, just so many bangers. Like, that's where I played Final Fantasy 11 for the first time. Not that that's a banger, but it was my first intro into
Online.
MMOs. Yeah. But then SOCOM was a banger at the time. Like, I loved playing SOCOM. Gran Turismo 3, I believe it was on that one. Loved that game. Gosh, there's just, I know there's so many, like, there's so much on that like system. I just like want to dig in my pile of games back there to really figure out like all the games that I fell in love with on that system. But yeah, there's just, I know there's so much I'm missing. Mega Man, I mean, was on the PlayStation 2. So that was absolutely incredible. But yeah, that's my reasoning for the PS2. And then lastly, I'll keep this short for um, the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo is obvious, just every game that you just showed. And then
and
there's
there's so
even
many
more.
more that I could have showed, but
Yeah,
just I mean, yeah, just it was
yeah,
it's a great console, and
mhm,
for any retro gaming enthusiasts out there, I would recommend the Super Nintendo over, like, say, a Genesis. That's just me, but
yeah.
but
I think most people would. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, they had a lot of great titles on there, and I don't think he'd be disappointed. It's just, I mean, it's just a great fun console to play. Definitely. Maybe some of the games haven't aged very well, but there's still like a great chunk of games, especially like RPGs out there that you could play for it. And then I feel it's a great console you can introduce you, like, say, a kid, and just be like, hey, this is what I used to game on, and just if you play with them, just start having some fun. I mean,
yeah. I was actually playing Sonic Mania with Henry, my
oh,
son.
you were, oh, right
Yeah,
on.
yesterday. Yeah, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. So I
Oh, you
can't
love
wait to
Sonic.
like, he's
Oh,
only 2 years old, but I can't wait to really like play like those old school games with him and just like
yeah.
have him experience that.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to. I think I want to be a bad influence on them in a good way.
Even though Sonic Mania is relatively new, I do know that. So I don't need anyone jumping in the comments and telling me like, "Oh, Sonic Mania just came out, blah blah blah." Blah. No, I know that, but the fact that it has that retro look to it
Yes.
is the point.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
yeah, people. So, I mean, I know for me, like, just real quick, I know PS3, even though the load times were slow, it was just like my first introduction, and just into the modern gaming era, even though it's like considered retro now. Just one of my favorite accessories for the PS3, this remote here, still works like a charm. I love it. Just I feel
okay.
like it was great. You can play DVDs on there.
Yeah.
You have your whole library on there.
Mhm.
You can go upload music on there. One of the reasons why I love the wrestling games is because you can like upload your own music and just come out like with your own intro and stuff like that. It was so amazing. But and then just my introduction to just digital games as well.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of great stuff on there, and I almost got rid of it, but couldn't do it. Now I'm just trying to rebuild my collection. I got a lot of my downloadable stuff back, so I mean, I feel good about it myself with the PS3. And another thing with the PS3, I think a lot of people don't notice. I mean, I got the second version of it, the smaller one, not the big one that came with the yellow light of death or whatever. But
Yeah. I'm gonna buy
um,
the smaller one too.
yeah, the
Yeah.
smaller one. Yeah, the smaller one. I actually saw a few on sale at the Expo last weekend, but
Mhm.
good prices too. Only like 120. But yeah, the smaller one can play PS1 games. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people don't know that, but yeah, it can play PS1 games. So if you have any PS1 discs laying around, PS3 is a great choice in my opinion. Instead of getting the OG hardware. I mean, that's just me, but it's a great alternative there. So I mean, I just wanted to touch that on the PS3, and I think we
Okay.
all already know why I love the Switch. But uh, and then just last but not least, do you still play games from that console, either on current gen hardware or just any way you can? Just any games that you still play for those consoles?
No, but I'm going to once I revamp my space and yeah, once I revamp this space right here.
Oh
Uh,
yes, I can't wait
and
for you to do that. If you
yeah,
want my input, just let me know.
yeah. Well, it's more just about insulation and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah,
So
oh yeah, that.
yeah.
Oh yes, and Super Nintendo had the best controller ever. Just so y'all know, just
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but okay.
well, I mean, well, it was an introduction into how controllers are made today. The four face buttons. Just the shoulder buttons.
It
It's the
did
first,
inspire, yeah, a lot of other controllers.
and then
But I would say the PlayStation, I think that that was more influential to modern day controllers.
okay, I'll give it to you.
Not
It's
that
a
not that one, the original PlayStation.
oh, the original PlayStation controller. Can't help you there. The oldest one I have is a PS3
I,
DualShock.
I think I got oh shoot, I just kicked a whole bunch of stuff over. Forget it. Never mind.
Well, yeah, we're having too much fun reminiscing about our favorite consoles, and then of course the Switch. It's a great console, and it's Finest's next console, I think.
Ha.
All right, all right. Getting into the release rundown, we have quite a bit of games coming out this week. Let me go to the list. All right, we have RPG Time, The Legend of Right. Um, let's see, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PC, iOS, and Android, and that's coming out March the 9th. So that's good. We also got Ash Walkers coming to the Switch on March 10th. Also coming out March 10th is Aztec Forgotten Gods for the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So just about everything. Aztec Forgotten Gods. And then Chocobo GP, a racing game, which should be coming out to everything in my opinion, but it's coming out to Switch March 10th. Submerged Hidden Depths coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC March 10th. And then we also got Workshop Simulator coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC. And then Young Souls coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. And coming out at the final day of the week on Friday, March 11th, WWE 2K22 for the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and X, Xbox One, and PC. Thank you for the music there, F-Man.
Hey, no problem. I thought I wake up people, make sure that they're
Wait,
still make sure they're still paying attention out there.
yeah, so of these games coming out this week, what do you like? What do you think people should be getting?
You know what? The only one that I'm a little bit curious about is gonna be the Chocobo GP. I'm a little surprised that that's only coming out to the Switch.
Yeah, I was a little
And
surprised too. I thought it was going to come to other consoles, but well,
yeah,
I
and I'm
don't
even
know.
more surprised that like it's a Final Fantasy based character based GP like kart racer. Um,
It
so
looks fun. Looks cute. I mean, it's
yeah,
a lot of
I
a
mean,
lot of good racing games out right now. So I mean,
yeah,
you got Gran Turismo 7 that just came out. And you got that other racing games not in my head right now. If I can find it on the list, but yeah,
I
that
think
just came.
Mario Kart's still on people's minds though, so I
Yeah,
think it could have
Grid
probably
Legends. Yeah,
pushed it back quite a bit.
yeah, like Grid Legends. I mean, I know that came out a few weeks ago now, but yeah, that game is just yeah. I think it chose the wrong time to come out, but
Yeah,
it is what it is. So I mean, Chocobo GP, and then I guess I kind of wish Mark was here to talk about it with me. But I guess we'll talk about it. WWE 2K22.
hmm
Um, I, I'm a big WWE guy. Well, wrestling games in general, I do like, as you guys know. I probably won't be picking this one up, at least not right now. I mean, maybe I'll get it later on the cheap. I just gotta see more. The
Yeah.
ugly debacle that was WWE 2K20. Yeah, I can't just pre-order this game right now and just dip into it. But and then with the amount of releases they've been doing with the company, I'm surprised the roster is as big as it is. So
Mhm.
I know some of the people that are on the roster aren't even with the company anymore, and that's just like. And then with the whole NWO thing, I think with what they're doing right now, it's been done before. Like I got WWE 2K14, and it's like all the NWO characters are there. So
You're speaking a foreign language to me right now, so I hope the listeners out there know what you're talking about.
Mark knows what I'm talking about. If you're listening, Mark, what up? But but yeah, I mean, otherwise, I mean, from what I did see, the mechanics do look good. I mean, it's great to have my GM mode back. So um, definitely, I do want to. If I do get the game, I definitely do want to give that a go, and we'll see what happens from there. And then otherwise, that's kind of it for what I would want to talk about with these games. Workshop Simulator, that's really not that interesting to me, and Young Souls, so that's coming to Game Pass. So for the most part, and then we get to the best part of the show now. What are we playing? Are you gonna kick this one off? You want me to kick it off?
I'm actually having a little technical difficulty. Give me 1 second. Start it off. I'm gonna back out of the stream real quick, and I'll be right back.
Okay. So, folks, I am playing two games. I am doing my best to finish up Assassin's Creed 2. I am not that. I think I'm pretty close to beating it now. Assassin's Creed 2, one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm just going through my favorite games of all time list. And aside from that, just it's just fun, And I don't know what Assassin's Creed game I will dip into next. Uh, so for the most part, we'll see what happens there. And then the second game I'm playing, and what up, Mark? I took one of your suggestions, and I'm actually enjoying it. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Um, it's a good game. It's very underrated. It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be. And Ted, if you're listening, just stop hating. It's a pretty good game. It's not one of the best games I ever played. I mean, not by a long shot, but it's definitely a good game, especially if you love platformers. So definitely with all that out of the way, those are the two games that I'm playing. And if Finest does come back, hopefully he comes back. Well, we can check out and see what he is playing. So I think he's having some technical difficulties. So we'll just wait a minute. All right, let's see where he is. Oh, are you serious? You can't get back in? Okay, well, looks like he can't get back in. We'll have him try a couple more times. Otherwise, I really wanted to hear what he had to play, so we'll try. We'll hold on a sec, guys. Yep, this is gonna have to do with some, rough editing, but nothing that I'm not used to. All right. Unfortunately, we are just going to go ahead and end the show on this note here. Unfortunately, I'm going to do my best to hook up with Finance after that. For Finance OVG RView Gaming, this is Justin Reed, aka Too Tall for You Fools. I just want to thank you for watching and or listening to the Gaming Watch podcast. Check us out on all our social media platforms, and we will catch you on the next one later. And I'm going to leave.